everyone, my name is Sherlyn.
And I'm Belle.
And we're the Hard Truth.
So today, this is going to be a chill topic that we're going to talk about. So it's something that I stumbled upon the other day when I was having a conversation with my friend. And I'm going to read to you guys first so that you guys know the context, okay? So we're going to basically be talking about this Twitter from @CarlPlantEmoji. And it goes like that. Fun fact, some people have an internal narrative and some don't. As in, some people's thoughts are like sentences they hear, and some people just have abstract non-verbal thoughts and have to consciously verbalize them. And most aren't aware of the other type of person. So when I see this, I'm like mind blown, right? And I have to share it with Sher. Yeah. And I just sent her this Twitter. I was so surprised that she actually replied me that, oh my god, babe, you mean some people don't have inner monologue?
Yeah.
I was so mind blown because I'm one of those people, and we figured that we should start this topic and get this conversation going.
When she sent me that screenshot of that tweet, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me? Some people can't hear their own voice. And I couldn't understand because when she said that she thinks things like abstract thoughts, I'm like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. It's so difficult to explain. I tried explaining to everyone. So I have a few friends that are also like me.
Abstract thinking?
Abstract thinking.
Okay.
So what happens is, I was just telling Sher the other day, the best that I can describe on how my thought goes is, how do I say? Subtitle. Okay, it's in a... Yeah, it's
like a Netflix series, but you
it's like a Netflix series, but subtitle, no voice. So I always thought...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
see, that's the thing.
thought,
It's so fascinating. Like,
how the mind works.
Oh, yeah, how the mind works.
How did thoughts flow about in your head? I never knew. I always thought since young that when you watch Lizzie McGuire and things like that, it's just something that the movie decide
the producer want to make things a bit more fun.
Yeah, it's the only way to
tell a story.
Yeah, to interpret, right?
Yeah.
What's going on in my head, because it's very abstract.
Yeah.
And I think that having a voice, your own voice narrating what's going on in the head, is just a way of them telling me, in movie form. So I'm like, okay, that's how it works. But you don't actually
No, man,
hear
that's
voices.
really, it's true, it works. I mean, not to say it works, but it exists.
Yeah,
The voice exists.
I cannot believe it. Okay, so,
maybe you can share with me a bit like how your abstract thinking works.
oh my god, I was about to ask you.
Oh.
Okay, so let's take turn sharing, okay?
Okay,
Because we are really like
yes.
opposing this time
Okay,
around.
so you start first then.
So for me, it's just silent with visual. The visual just comes fleeting. So when I'm thinking about whether I want to buy something or not, oh my god, should I get this? Whether it's right, but it's so expensive and things like that. So it all goes through my head, but it's just in a very... The closest I can describe is subtitle. It's like words flowing through. Like,
You see the words?
let's just say that it's closer to being a subtitle than being a voice. I tried imagining when I saw that tweet, right? I was so mind blown. I tried imagining the voice, and I can't even imagine my own voice. I cannot. I always thought that is something that the movie or someone that is a bit, insane or something. Like Joker.
Insane?
I'm sorry. But,
Oh my god, do you think I'm insane then to have this inner voice?
I cannot live with that. I cannot imagine. So okay, let's share. So basically, how the thought flow through?
So I've always had this okay, but the thing is, right, when I was trying to read, I trying to understand like what do people actually mean by just having abstracts, as thoughts. But the thing is, I do see things as well. Like when, not to say like see like ghosts are okay, guys, but like when I have in my head. When I think, I talk to myself, like my inner monologue is that I have conversations with myself, and especially, right, when you look yourself into the mirror, I can have like a freaking 10 minutes conversation with myself.
In the mirror?
Yeah.
It's really like the movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Like, I will have internal debates with myself sometimes, trying to justify some certain things that I'm thinking through. But the thing is, I do not have this inner voice only, but I do actually see
both
images. Yeah, so it will both for me. Like, for example, I go for a run and I'm at the brim of giving up. But the inner voice in me is like, no, girl. Yeah, and especially, okay, how do you even read? Like, do you read? Yeah, like, when I read, right, especially when I read, like, non-fiction, like, storybooks, characters have a different voice in my head. And I don't understand how you don't have that. Because, like, it's the best. Like, so that's why, right, I don't know whether is it, like, why people say that, it's always better to read the book than watching a movie, because your imagination is so powerful that it just plays. Like, I do see images of it as well. I put myself in the book, like when I read, right? That's why I love reading, because I visualize that what is happening,
how you want to play out,
and I also could hear, like, for example, if I'm reading like 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, you hear it? No lah, but. Freaking funny. Let's not go there. Oh my god. But yeah, I hear like
wow, so intense.
Mr. Grey has a voice, and then the girl has her own voice. So yeah, you see, that's imagination. So I always thought that.
Oh my god, I cannot read in public if I can hear it.
Yeah. I mean,
the details. Okay,
that's why it's called inner voice. You don't actually verbalize it. What?
Yeah, but I can imagine things too. So when I read, right, I do think that reading sometimes is better than the movies as well, because I can visualize it. It's just that when I go to movies, I think the only difference is I probably have stunted growth in my inner
No.
I'm so sad when I discover people have inner monologue, because it just shows that, wow, I might have a stunted growth in my inner voice and I tried so hard. But anyway, when I go to the movie, I would never be disappointed by the voice of the actor, let's just say. It would not surpass or go below my expectation, because it doesn't exist in my world.
I will sometimes. Like, for example, I was a fan of a Shopaholic.
Confession of Shopaholic.
Yeah, so I always had a visualization of how Becky Bloomwood would like sound like. But then in real life, I'm like, huh, really? She's like, really? She totally, like, I picture her so different from what I visualize, you know. So that's the thing, like, my inner monologue is like, it tells me things. Oh my god. And no,
it's like the devil and angel in the movie.
So that's why
I thought it was a joke.
Sometimes I feel that my inner voice can be a devil. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes my inner voice can tell me things like, you shouldn't be this way, you should be that way. And sometimes it's super judgy. So it's so many thoughts. It just flashes through, and sometimes I feel that my inner voice is there to protect me as well.
Yeah, but I do have my that thing goes on in my head.
But it's just not voice.
In abstract. Yeah. I really feel like when I have a lot of thoughts going in my head, right? So when I have a lot of thoughts, it feels so heavy, but it's never noisy.
Mine is just noise. Which is why I need to have my corner.
So, me and Shir has always been talking about sometimes how meditation is for us. And she do mention that sometimes it's difficult for her.
Because I have a lot of voice in my head.
So, I really literally take it as like how I think. Like a lot of things going on in my head, right? Abstract. So, it doesn't have that actual voice going on in my head. And I'm like, you can just quiet down your mind by just blanking out. So my abstract thought would just disappear, right? But now that I know that she has an inner voice, I imagine to myself, oh my god, so poor thing. So how it's like your meditation? Maybe you want to describe how your meditation is like?
Oh wow. I mean, wow. Difficult, because it's like it flashes through with different voices and different thoughts. Like, I do see images as well, and I also hear voices. Voices in the sense that I can even imagine another person's voice. Like, I can even imagine your voice in my head. That kind of thing.
I can imagine your voice in my head perfectly fine. I just can't imagine
your own voice?
Yeah. No, So you're talking about flashing through of the past,
like,
right?
Not only the past. Like, I could even tell myself about, like, this is what can happen in the future as well. So you're like imagining images of like what it could be or what happened before. That's me. Yeah.
In voices,
and but like I say, I can do both. Like, I can imagine it in my head, and I can also like hear it. Yeah, which is fascinating. Because I thought that that's what everyone thinks.
No, but I do dream with voices.
Okay,
When
but
you
it's just
dream-
your thoughts. It doesn't have any voice.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
How do you make a decision? Like when I look at something, where I'm like, should I get this?
Yeah, it's like
this?
subtitle. Like I say, it go like subtitle.
And sometimes when you see a person and then you don't okay, like this is like when you're judging a person.
Judgy.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you don't intentionally judge. It's just like your thoughts in your head. Like I don't think I'm a very judgmental person now, but it's just that your mind just can't help it but to say something about this particular person, but you don't verbalize it. But then I'll be like, hey, don't think of that lah, please, you know. Yeah, so it's like you're telling your mind that it's not necessary for you to have this thought.
But you have two voices. I would
Yeah.
be so confused because that's why I talk to myself sometimes when I'm working, you know. I'm known for talking to myself when I'm working. Sometimes I just like talk and then my friends say, what are you doing? Are you talking to me? I'm like, no, I'm just talking to myself because I can't imagine my voice. So when I need to have inner monologue with myself,
You verbalize it.
yeah, I literally have to verbalize it.
Oh my goodness. But I feel that I'm actually very grateful for this voice in my head because especially when I'm feeling really low or very lonely, like I have this inner voice to like
talk to you.
no, not to talk to me, but in a way to comfort me, to like, hey, you just need to push yourself another 10% more in order to do what you want to do.
Talk.
Yeah, the pep talk, the internal pep talk.
Yeah.
So I guess it gives me a lot of strength to actually pull through.
I think it's the same for me
Yeah.
as well. It's just that mine is visual.
Oh, okay. Like for example, right? Because like for example, if I've read a book and I've gained a new knowledge about it, and so what happened was that continue with the running story. So I was reading a book by David Goggins. Yeah, Can't Hurt Me. So basically, it talked about like the cookie jar method. So what cookie jar method means is that whenever you feel like like you're giving up, okay, take up a cookie from the jar, right? So what it means is that so I will visualize taking out a cookie from a jar when I'm running. I'm like, so it's like you imagine yourself feeling, because the cookie jar method is talking about try to remember that triumph moment that you actually felt before and visualize that moment and then push yourself through it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I will remember, like, because I listened to David Goggins' interview, so I could like literally hear his like voice in my head.
Voice?
Yeah, like you can freaking do it, just do it. And yeah, so I will remember as well like the words that I read, and I will visualize a cookie jar, remembering the triumph moment that I've achieved before and try to feel that way again so that I could push myself to run the extra mile, you know? So that's what happens in my head to keep going. Yeah, so that's basically...
But it happens as well. It's just that...
It's just my voices lah.
Okay. I can imagine your voice, you know. Like, let's say if I were to flash back to our memory, your voice would still be there. It's not that I can replay a memory. It's just that when it comes to pep talk, me talking to myself, I don't have that. The me talking to myself part. So I can imagine people talking to me. I cannot imagine the me, myself talking. I can't imagine my own voice. My voice doesn't exist in my head. That part
That's
of
so
me.
fascinating because I have daily conversations with myself about so many things. Like, I will even like judge myself sometimes. Oh my goodness, my inner voice can be super critical with my own self. I will like sometimes say like, wow, why your hair looks like shit today? You know, it's like, oh, you gained weight, girl? Then I'll be like, yeah.
It must be so noisy.
Yeah, it is.
I can imagine how torturing that would be, because at least my voice, even when it's negative, it's in me. It's just a very heavy feeling. But imagine it's just like, I really think subtitle is the only way I can describe. Like he said, right? It's really abstract.
It's abstract.
I can't describe it.
I cannot imagine, man. Like, not having a voice.
No, can you imagine the no visual, having no
Oh yeah,
visual?
so that's the thing. It's called a fantasia. So while we were like looking into this inner monologue about how like there's like inner voice and abstract thinking, so apparently there are people that cannot picture things.
Cannot even visualize.
There's like, oh my, even worse.
Yeah, I know how the inner monologue people feel now that I imagine if there's someone that cannot visualize, I'll be like, wow. How do you go about? It's like imagining an apple, but
they cannot see the
you
apple.
cannot see the apple.
So when you tell a person picture this, they cannot picture.
They cannot picture this. Imagine.
Yeah.
Their imagination would be in sounds.
In sounds, yeah. Oh wow, purely
Yeah,
sounds.
that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like how... It's actually like how I ask myself sometimes how blind people dream.
Oh, you see, that's the thing crazy about the mind, right? Like you probably can hear your own voice, but you can't hear other people's voice.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. I cannot hear my own voice.
Yeah, so
at
here's
all.
a thought. Like it made me wonder, like the fact that we have different ways of thinking. There's abstract, and then there is like inner monologues with voices. Does it actually shape our personality and behavior?
I think it does. I think it really does.
Like when, like think about it lah. Cause
but
like
what about the other way around?
Mm-hmm.
What if your personality and behavior is what shapes the way you process your thought?
Yeah, your mental health, right?
Yeah, because I'm always a more visual person. I don't know about you.
Yeah, for me it's both. Like I visual and I also like can hear,
which is so good, especially if you're doing positive affirmation, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it's positive,
and
kind
this
of
is why I journal so much, because my mind is so noisy that journaling actually helped me to have more clarity. Yeah. Oh wow, it makes more sense now.
But I love writing too, because writing. Oh, so that's the thing. So because I don't have this inner voice thing, I don't when I try to verbalize my thought, right? Is that why I'm not that good a communicator?
That's not true.
Because I have to. No, she's too nice. But no, I mean, I'm just trying to think. Whenever I process my thought, so for you guys, it's more of like categorize for you guys, for us. No. So for people with inner monologue, right? Because you talk to yourself so much that when it comes out of your mouth, it's just directly without needing a translation. But for me, it's all so abstract inside. So the thoughts are appearing like so many thoughts
Pictures.
at one go. I can visualize a lot of things at one go, multitask in my head, that when I try to put it into words, sometimes I struggle because I'm trying to translate the abstract into word for me. And I struggle with that sometimes.
I think people with inner voice also have that struggle, because when you have so many voices in your head,
that's true.
You don't know what to say. That's why I find that sometimes I stutter as well, because I'm like, I have so many things in my head that I want to say, but girl, which one you want to say? You know?
Do you remember the moment where you're talking, and then you're like, shut up.
Yeah, I actually do that, because especially when I have a lot of negative thoughts about myself, then I'll be like, hey, you know, not now, not today. And
like, so poor thing. I feel so bad that I talk to you about meditation without knowing that you have that inner thought.
Don't have to feel bad.
Yeah, it's okay, just because for me it's just the thought will go away, and for you it's like voice.
And this is why sometimes I struggle to sleep at night, because I have so much voice in my head, right? And it comes in like flashes of images and also voices. Yeah, and then sometimes people are like, oh my god, girl, can you just sleep? Sometimes I will talk to myself like that.
Yes.
But then it's just like, no, I have something to tell you.
So do you ask your other friends as well whether they have inner monologue or visual?
Well, because we just started this conversation, I have not. But hey,
I was so fascinated that I start asking my other friends as well, and some of them, same thing, when they reply, what? Some people don't have inner monologue? So I realized people around me all are very inner monologue based.
Yeah.
But just now I just only read the research say that there's only like 20% with inner monologue.
Wait, I'm the 20%.
Yeah, there's only around 20%.
Wait,
I don't know the
statistic,
but okay. I'm not sure about statistic, but I just read it. It's around 20% only. And you know how I always say that, I know myself well, but I don't have an actual inner voice. It's so contradicting.
What? No, I'm seriously mind blown, because like, how can it only be 20%? Because like ever since I was young, I always thought that that's how everyone else thinks.
Yeah, I always thought that was just movie big.
My goodness. Like especially when I read lah, you know, and I process my thoughts, and to change like I have internal, like I said right, internal debates about like why I shouldn't do this, making a decision. Oh my goodness. I have so much debate about making a decision. Like, that's why I have decision making problems sometimes, because it's like, it's in my head, like, I want this, but I want that.
But how many voices are there inside? Like, one. Okay, I know there's only one type of voice, which is your own
right?
voice,
yeah.
But
like,
how many?
Okay, when it comes to, like, just thinking about the past, then you can have multiple voices in your head, because you imagine your friends. Yeah. Yeah, multiple.
cannot
Yeah.
imagine. It's really like, you know, some sitcoms where they dress as, even Niga Higa, you know, he dressed as different characters of himself, talking to each other. That's actually real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real.
Like,
So you thought it was not real? You thought it was just like a freaking comedy?
Yeah. So I was never entertained by that kind of comedy. Never.
Well, I hope this has been really mind-blowing for you as well, because it is for us.
Yeah,
So
like,
which are you? Like which one are you? Are you the one with the voice, or are you the one with the abstract thinking?
yeah. and also, because I cannot describe my abstract thinking well. I think I have not described it well enough. Only describe as subtitle. But if you are one of us,
Or
the
me.
abstract thinking
Or
one,
the one with the many voices in the head?
I we want to know what kind are you and how do you process your thought?
Yeah.
Especially abstract, right? I see subtitles, maybe the closest I can describe.
Yeah.
What do you see? How do you process your thought? Let us know. We want to know, and you know, share with us. We would love to know that.
I'm just still like shocked, guys, because like, but okay, like as crazy as it sounds, I still believe that even though how critical I feel about myself in my voice, and sometimes how kind it could be, it's an extension of who I am, and it's still part of me.
Yeah.
So I actually,
Essentially.
so even though like you feel that it's actually sad for me, right? I actually embrace my inner voice. I love it because sometimes when I'm alone, I have my thoughts to think about. I have my thoughts to be with me to like pull through till the very end.
That's true lah.
Yeah,
I
so-
think it boils down the same thing for both lah.
Correct. So yeah, appreciate if you have an inner voice.
Because I appreciate if you don't.
Yes, because sometimes it can be very noisy, and probably because I grew up with it, so I kind of like learned how to accept my inner voice. So the thing about meditation is that it actually helps you think, like process through your thoughts. You know, like really just allow your voice to have its voice,
Yes.
and then you just it's either up to you to like give it attention or not. So that's the beauty
it's up
about
to you.
meditation. Yeah. So yeah, let us know. What are you?
What are you?
Are you a voice person or are you an abstract person?
Yeah. Which are you and how does it impact you? We want to know that. And yeah, share with us till we see you next week.
Yay!
Okay.
So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Okay, do we look on point? Freaking funny.